The squad.
Okay.
So team meeting today or what? Oh, shit. You run where? Marketing? Oh, Starbucks. I guess it's Starbucks now.
There's like an event. It's like, it's not just like we're going to do things. Although I would think that.
It's like a social network. That you? Specific. Networking for what specifically versus?
Just like for a job.
I understand. Yeah.
Probably.
I like for one of the questions is like a consultant. No, I appreciate that.
Also, I'm thinking about the group chat. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I apologize. He's saying nothing, he's just working. That was great. If I have
What?
I was a person.
Has anyone ever seen the movie Rushmore? Bill Murray. Anyway, it's about a guy. It's about a boy who's in primary school. He's in high school, and he's like captain of every single like extracurricular thing in school, like the beekeepers club, the chess club, the marketing club. But so he's like rewarded. Well, he's like looked upon from all his other classmates as like awesome, but in reality he's like a straight up student. Like his GPA is like 0. So it's probably pointless. That's probably.
So do you take over?
question is this for the project? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking like, what about this set of deadline or just to go feed everything? Yeah, but I mean.
Before we get started, does anybody have anything they can do?
I emailed it to you.
I got it. I'll hand back everything that's ready.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. So heads up your name. Try and look at I'm gonna get your name. I'll put that on
Either one.
Oh, it doesn't remember what parts are.
Is everyone on track with their project? Is everyone done all right? Anybody start at all? Start communicating at all? Okay. I'll hand back Article 2 case, everything else in the class. It's only way out. It's funny, I was looking at the papers and that's what's in here. Professor Rick Ross. Like maybe she didn't think I would catch that. But she actually give her some extra points for that. Maybe she's trying to slide it in like a woman. Maybe that's when I hit it. So today we'll get into two groups. So we could essentially split the class in two. I'll hand out the so we're going to discuss Apple and Samsung. So one group will be Samsung, the other group will be Apple, and we're looking at this Galaxy Note 7 issue. What's your strategy in decision making? What can you implement to better things on the Samsung side? How do you use to take advantage on the Apple side to get new customers from Samsung and stuff like that? So, you guys will be group 1, Samsung. Try to get as creative as possible. What?
Just want to argue about it.
Yeah, sorry. You guys are working on this. Yes. Yeah. Team Also, I have here study guides for midterm. We we could go over it briefly, just in this.
How long is this gonna be?
I'm gonna have 5 questions, so essentially 5 essay questions.
Yeah.
So you guys have five essay questions?
No, they're just gonna list the topics, some pretty much stuff, all the stuff we've covered. They're just, putting things in your own words, like doing sheets. At minimum a paragraph.
Next Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay, so just thinking that, their phones are
Alright.
people and then like.
I was thinking
Are you serious?
Yeah, next Thursday.
Yeah, but like when I'm so sometimes, have the phones that they're just distributed in the market, except for China, because the supply of batteries is different. China.
Is everyone familiar with the Samsung issue?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody knows what's going on there.
Oh,
Where'd you just say so?
so like I said, just.
Is this taking
They're actually
Hey, well,
just get their new phone.
good that. It does. Samsung.
When you guys think, I think like, it's really hard.
I got the pen.
So there's always problems, but like, there might be able to create a new generation of phones and just,
This is the ones that we're exploring.
Yeah. It's only
But there's a total, there's a total recall. The Note 7 is not going to exist at all.
Yeah, it exists in China though.
Yeah, but even China, at first China didn't have any exploding batteries, so now they have.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they haven't did a global recall, but they
Yeah, it's in Saudi Arabia too. They're like,
Aren't they getting sued by an Asian country as well?
They're getting sued by
Yeah, they're getting sued too. So that's like, the fact that we won't pull on.
So think of a strategy. You say, hey, you know what, we just immediately come up with a new device.
That's what I said, like, on this, like, I think they should just like, all
And
the
offer some incentives.
I mean, we exist in a new generation of phones. I mean, they always got to be the kind that the Apple anyway. Like, the Note 7, like, whatever. I mean, they got more customers than Apple, like, last because of that. But, like,
I'm happy to disagree with that. No, I mean, obviously, there's not really 2 superior phones. It's either the Galaxy or the Samsung. So.
Yeah, but I mean, they just got the problem with that timing. It's like, Apple was getting there.
Absolutely.
Market.
Yeah. So that's what they're doing. They're developing a strategy to say, you know what?
They did with the Note
They
7
lost.
that they
They're
didn't
taking over.
that they were gaining so much more
Having
market share,
capitalized.
that they actually hired different
Get all
companies for the
together.
first time to create
Their
different
stuff.
pieces. And I think that if they do an
What's the strategy?
investigation
What
and
do you
they
do?
see like, maybe we shouldn't, instead of like trying to save costs by, hiring these different companies, if they go prior to the way they were doing it before, like staying to the same companies they were doing business with.
So, like, saving costs, but it's awesome.
So what they did with the Note 7 that they had not done before is that they were just getting overwhelmed with how many they had to make, many phones, that they hired different companies that they had never done business with before to do different like chips and the phones, which may or may not have caused these explosions. But I think that if they stick to the people that they were making business with, instead of trying to, the reason they did this was to save costs. So maybe it's worth it to invest a little bit more on the phone than getting a recall and losing everything. So, would that pretty much go back to their original partners, production partners slash costs? Okay, but it already happens, like, what if not? Like, when you're but is it ever to start creating new phones now? Well, I mean, already have like a whole bunch of.
I mean,
I
people are
think they
afraid
have
though.
to, I think they have to do an investigation first and see where the problem occurred. Define the problem, make it public, this is where it came
They
from,
already
this is
know
what
the
we're
problem.
doing.
Yeah,
With the
that's
battery.
the battery, and
But
then
maybe
you know the
knowing-
suppliers that,
Yeah, maybe I'm hoping like the suppliers, maybe cost the,
But they refuse to just, say it publicly.
I don't know, I mean, unless it's gonna save them if they say, oh, this is the person that gave us the battery. It's not gonna. But if you say, this is the person,
Where's a lot of the same thing, and they do all the
Yeah.
it's not like one gonna save them. It's literally the point of this is figuring out what if you do now, like you have to. Well, that's the thing. If you know who did it, moving forward, if you make this public statement, if they're PR person makes a public statement, says
Yeah,
the
just to
problem
say that
moving
we're not-
forward, we're not doing business with them anymore. You know, that's moving forward. I'm gonna get started now.
But I mean,
I don't
now-
think you should come out with a new phone anytime soon. You have to touch your phone.
Yeah, I mean, but now people are thinking on the second, so what they're gonna do.
No more. They're
not.
not selling them at all. They had a recall originally, and then they sent them back to the customers, and then those had a recall again, and they're like, you know what, we're done. Like, they're not doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's costing them a lot of money, so it's probably, they are just use the parts to get something new or just like.
I mean, maybe they could like freeze money.
Well, I think that is what they're doing, isn't it? So like, we're looking at, giving him the option to do another thing, is that what it is? I mean, I think that's what my sister would have looked at, and it's just what I want to ask. I mean, I know you're trying to add it, it's so pretty to look at.
But you know what, happens is that phones in general, like before the Note 7, batteries explode, like they have for years, and so this one's had, you know, bigger explode more often. But I mean, if they make it known, like, hey, like,
Oh, okay.
because phones are like so fast. I mean, this one's unfortunate, and it was more well known, but they make it known, like, it's not just our phones in general are going to explode. And they have,
Like, say that Apple had their shooter, because Apple's gonna like completely tear you down by saying that.
no, I know, I mean, not, like, they have commercials that are very, for competitors, they don't necessarily state the name, but they're like,
Well, here, guys.
See, that's not good, I mean, sometimes does that all the time.
You should be distracting people from their
Yeah, if you do that, I would do
Yeah.
You're not getting entry level phone.
So,
Yeah.
So how do we convince you that you want?
Yeah.
that's a good question you should
But it's
ask.
probably the house, the phones and drop.
Can you give me something for your?
Look here, guys, Samsung, look here,
You get an iPhone?
iPhone versus Galaxy right now.
Yeah.
Who all has Samsung?
Why?
One person? Everybody else has that? You just talked about.
Person too.
Oh, okay. You got a MacBook Air.
Oh, no, I don't even know how to use it.
iPad Pro.
I just trust people like me to space time right now.
So that's a good question, man. You should be saying what could you do, or you guys should be thinking.
So
like,
you
how
get-
do you
How do you stop them? Just say, not just say.
Maybe.
So maybe think reverse possible, like, man, I'm happy.
Right.
This. That's people like,
Right,
I guess.
I think.
Well, if it's happening, would you ever switch to iPhone or are you gonna stick to?
I don't know. It was.
Some people are.
Okay, so what else?
It'll take the plane to explode.
If you do investigations, when you see whether supplier was in there, but then like whether or not you have any.
Yeah, they give them the battery, it's not just one company made a battery, it's like 3 different companies made the battery, and they don't know what, they just take the wire to the battery, on the battery, so they can just take the plug of the connection to that battery. So it was.
With that.
If you're gonna do that, you gotta make sure that they aren't like supplier that you rely on. So if you have.
Actually, Samsung's
Probably because that there's not enough supplier and that nothing part of the phone.
So
They don't want to get the relationship. That's all they want.
Because maybe like thinking long term, they'd rather lose $1 million today than losing 10 billion in 2 or 3 years, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe they're like,
I mean, there's no way they can possibly do that.
no, they're losing the profit and more, but,
Well, you typically have
yeah.
I mean, I can see like, they should lose money now so they can gain some later year, but that's really like hard, like, how can they determine how to lose the least amount of assets in order to gain the most?
And the thing is also their reputation was hurt, but it was only her and like extra loans. Like I could go tomorrow and still buy Samsung TV, like if I'm going to. That doesn't affect that I'm gonna stop buying Samsung maybe it's more. So you have to like kind of strengthen that reputation. I know.
How do you even acknowledge the problem, like make a public statement?
I think they do.
I just remember it was TV. I don't think they ever, I don't think said anything.
Because I think that would be like weird stuff, like maybe like public.
But also, maybe possibly pass rates, maybe that's what they're waiting on. Maybe they are doing an investigation though. And maybe like that's part of the policy, like you can't have a statement until the investigation is complete. So that's what I would have done as a, see like a copy like that to figure out.
Man, we're gonna have issues in this podcast, and we're celebrating with like fireworks and everything. Yeah, no, you know, to make people more considerate. But it's fine. So.
What do you guys think?
If you're recalling the phone, what are you giving them back? Giving them another stamp of money, that's what they want. They're not. If you have row 7, they're gonna exactly, you're not gonna want to stamp them there now. So they need to figure out something else. They're gonna give it money back.
The money they invested. I mean, I don't know if that's enough.
Yeah.
I don't know, so like,
You know what, you could just the deal with credit, so that if the money is,
Yeah.
but if it's credit, everyone does it, like.
Everyone.
Like,
So like, the mom, yeah, it's still gonna be the money, so actually the credit and
You could get a credit, the credit could be however you want, I mean, you
But
could
then
just,
again,
yeah.
the notes that they call more expensive than the other phones they have. So let's say they give them $700 credit, and the other phone they want $500, the other $200.
Exactly, it's savings in pocket, they lose it.
No, like that's.
But also, you have to think about,
I think.
there's resellers, so like, how are like T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T reliable, because they're the ones selling the telephone, so maybe. I mean, you have to think about your level.
I mean, anyway, they bring up the someone else.
This is the case.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you're on your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you buy $700 phone, you get $100 credit, you could use another phone, you could use credit for, at this point, as a consumer, you're like, I just want to move on. You know, if you want to offer like up to 100 credit for returning their phones. 100? Yeah, $100, that's all you get.
Yeah.
And so many people are just like, you know what, I don't want to keep it, but that's $100 more. Or,
But the,
yeah,
you never know.
I mean, technically not more, you're talking about.
The credit is the phone.
You don't think that's.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now it's your choice. You
But
want
it's
to
no,
pay
no,
for it, you want to
because
use your
the
credit.
difference between, the two phones and just them for that.
That's possible, but I'm assuming the last, like a different style of phone.
We don't really know anything
I
other
mean,
than
the
like.
credits are not always like, that's gonna lose like, they're behind them.
Right.
Sticky, and you know what, when I go, I have to go, so when I go and like say they overcharge or something, instead of getting reimbursement, I get a credit. I mean,
Maybe that's possible.
So that's also a thing, you might not like it, but you may.
Think of it as a customer, like, hey, don't make it switch.
Credit.
Buy it up, oh, this is whole thing.
Yeah, that's it.
So that makes sense, really important.
Okay, how about we do this? So you give them the credit, how much your phone is worth,
And then obviously all other phones are not gonna cost $700, they're gonna be less. So that extra, they get another, Samsung product, so whether it's a Samsung tablet, or like TV credit, anything else that is along the product that's. It's the Samsung credit, so you have to use the Samsung product. And then it's up to you how you want to spend that credit, if there's a tablet or.
No, you're getting something right.
Yeah. Those strategies.
Updated consumer guidance for the Dallas and stuff. And it just says that they're like, need to like investigate it, they want people to stop using it. And it says payments will be joined, exchange for separate emails, and refund of the price.
Yeah, you're forcing them to spend it. You're unforcing them, like, you're expensive. Yeah, and then you're showing them like, hey, it's
You're locking them in.
That's kind of how it works. In the industry, it's credit, and your refunds.
What about when you went to, your, what did you see?
And also, I think
Android?
I think it will eventually, but if it's happening in a global scale,
Alright, so
in
neither-
Europe,
Yeah,
Samsung is way more popular. Apple, so maybe it's gonna make the numbers like maybe to work on the Chinese.
Just
I
a big thing.
don't think they'll
Yeah.
People kind of like, I really like pictures, so I make but I don't.
Apple has its brand and Samsung isn't as big as Apple, so like.
You're like, I don't care.
Well, and even
Literally
though
buy
it
one
was
that's the
like
best.
70%.
But like with Samsung,
I probably have like.
you're buying the phone to like use the phone, you're not buying it to like
Yeah.
have any kind of status.
Okay.
At least I don't think it's like that.
More functionality.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Oh, do you guys think that, you know, Samsung can play with finance like the phone, like if you go to Price or something, you can say like, you know, you want Samsung.
All those companies were selling Samsung, so it wouldn't mean that they're getting Verizon to spread, you know?
No, I mean, I'm just saying like, you know,
And have you wanted to go that,
they can like cheat them.
I think they only have the control of how much the phone costs and who's selling it.
I agree.
I don't think they can affect how much
It's
like
so like.
T-Mobile or Verizon all like having your hand. But it's individual.
Oh.
I
Yeah, I thought that they would tell like, you know, you do the Samsung.
I hadn't had it here.
And all the data off
I
those.
think Apple dropped the ball, I think they're able to,
Yeah.
they can't.
Alright, so what's another thing that you can do? So you
No,
can
cannibalize the, okay, pros, and
You're gonna
you know,
lose money regardless. Like,
those,
think about,
nobody
they're
would have.
recalling everything, so they lost all the money that. They're have to give out new products with the credit, so they're losing all the money from what is bad. So then.
What I've noticed is that not everybody does everything best. It took me a long time,
What product?
because you know, you got a lot of.
Maybe, yeah, they're, and then it's
You know,
not. I'm saying when the credits are you're using it on the product.
Not really, it's like, not everything.
Yeah, the new coming up.
Every
now.
company kind of
So
does
like now,
something.
what are they doing now? Like, they
Even
lost all that money. And
That
you're
you
still,
can't
you're,
go one place and everything's good, you gotta go get tacos.
you're still, your brand is still like, shopping, you have to ensure customers are their reputation, you have to ensure how you do that. Just thinking of what they're saying, products that they already have.
Maybe check on my ideas.
Listen, it's not.
You guys need more time? Do more meetings?
I think you're thinking too much, like, you're comparing it to Apple. Well, yeah, because if you think of it just from the company and you're trying to make money, at this point, your customers aren't following you, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
But
but
I
I
don't.
know customers, like, it doesn't have to be the same. So like, that phone shouldn't care. My other sisters, my sister's like, oh, they blow up. So.
Dude, my mom's phone keeps overheating like crazy, she doesn't have enough, her phone keeps overheating like crazy. She doesn't want to go in and,
No, so like, it's not. You have no idea.
you know how, you're really, it seems like you're really.
But it's not really that,
Apple,
it's not all
people
over
are
the
really
place.
loyal to Samsung. I refuse, I hate Apple so much that I'd rather just get it. Android.
You know what I mean, like, there is, it's not really all about what we do, I mean, I don't know, it's like, nobody hits, I mean, nobody hits. I don't have that name. It's not reliable. Just depending on you and lazy to go.
Yeah, my phone, my battery is screwing me over, dying at 25%. But I'm like, I'm gonna really think about it because I know.
What did you guys say about it?
Before I like, so, you know,
Our season is.
I don't know.
Saturday from street to.
Yeah. But I feel like that's only the case here, right? Like everywhere around the world, seems to figure that out. If you go anywhere else, I'm pretty, in state, how many people like this?
Yeah, that's what I was saying, that it's gonna hurt the reputation.
So then how do you make it, like, don't even have here, how do you make people?
You think you guys can do it, or you like?
To make sure, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe, the way that we're so loyal to Apple,
Yeah.
is that how people are always the same stuff, like, just maybe just a minor, like,
Sorry.
and it's like, instead of like,
Yeah.
you know how we're like in the United States, we're loyal to Apple, like, whether it's best or not, we're gonna get an iPhone, is that how people are the same?
Right.
Outside of the
I
US?
mean, I don't know, like, you know, when I talk about the people actually have these phones when something.
Is it you?
Yeah, I don't understand, but like, people just like have both.
Yeah.
Very strong, like.
Personality.
I don't know, I feel like, you know,
Nobody wants to
food is just very popular here in the US only.
What about you guys? How's that?
You know, it's places.
That's why I feel
That's why I
expert
really
of
understand
what
what you're saying, it's like, this is hard.
There's like watching stars.
It's a global thing, that,
You guys are.
I mean, like, the same thing happens to Apple, and we both don't listen to that much, because it's probably like in the US, and like, you know, they're so complex everywhere. So they wouldn't really use as much as.
So what's it like?
Well, I mean, like,
Same
it's
structure.
just how it's getting more or something.
Yeah, so we have like, kind of weird, so it's like a top.
Yeah, like, nobody trusts them right now, like.
And then whoever wins that automatically goes. I think that we need loyalty and loyalty. So if you want to hear with the phone, you really don't care. I feel like at some point, if you really think that this phone's gonna screw you over, you're gonna switch over. And it doesn't even have to be an Apple, it could be the Chinese brand that.
You guys think the Cubs are gonna do it?
Really big Apple. Absolutely.
You see Tuesdays,
Did you watch game 3? When it went to like 13?
Yeah, that was long.
That was good.
Phones are only
Back up.
10% of everything that Samsung makes. I mean, it's
But
pretty
it's still,
good.
yeah, but it's still, it has a huge problem.
I think that, I really feel, I think before it's
They
been
might,
like,
in the most one of their restaurant things that, you know.
this year, I think
It's
so.
not something.
Yeah. I looked at each player on my team, like,
So
these
it's just
all
when you
guys.
have
You feel like Zack and pitching.
Maybe it's creative phone that is gonna know. Alright, I'm gonna answer podcast.
Well, I'm just not looking great at it right now. They're moving so much.
Alright, I think we'll wrap it up.
I think we go back.
Direct paper. Well, I think you can like. If you try some other 10,000 products, might not, maybe you'll eventually make it trust.
They can bring that up and just say, you know, we have all this.
We have a good conversation going.
Alright, I mean, just put it up and then. You guys, each individual can say something that they thought they should get. Not everybody's gonna agree sometime in the team too, you know?
I'm moving.
Also, the point is group dynamics, right? You're like, hey, this is we are the decision makers for this one issue. Not everybody agrees with what you say, you know? So that's also a point to this. So Samsung. You want to start with that?
Maybe we'll think of something.
All right, so that was to develop a strategy to take advantage of the recent Samsung Note 7 issue. Also the question, how can we bring over new customers? What you guys come up with?
So I identified that the issue was the phone is going to expire.
Yeah, I mean,
No. Alright. So we want to market that our phones are reliable, they're safe, that they're not gonna catch on fire in your hand. We could also sponsor advertising against Samsung's phones, even if we don't put our name on it. Obviously, Apple has the power to kind of influence things, so we could put, like things out there that are highlighting, so it's like every time you get on the internet, it's like in your face kind of thing.
yeah, I think that actually is pretty smart, like a third party
Yeah,
kind of advertising. Like, is your phone safe? Is your phone safe? You don't have to say Apple, is your phone safe?
I mean, we could have it on Facebook, like things that are popping up all the time, places that people are all the time, obviously Apple has the knowledge to do that.
Then you get really dramatic with those type of ads too.
Oh, yeah.
We show people's houses burning down, and have dramatic music and all that stuff, and people get freaked out.
Yeah,
Fear, right?
yeah.
Use fear as a tactic.
So that's one way, and then we're gonna get hands-on promo advertising, get iPhones into the hands of people that are Android, look and feel, let them touch it, like sometimes that works for people. I know that there's apps that are specific to some Android that iPhone users don't have, so Apple should work on building strong relationships with those apps so that the people that switch over feel more comfortable with the app that they've had, that they couldn't get on their iPhone, they now can get on the iPhone.
More kind of the Android-based kind of style.
You gotta appeal to both sides as well. And they might find that their iPhone users now might really like those apps, so it might really work out for them in the long run. Maybe bring the price of iPhones down just a little bit to be more competitive with the market. Or if you're saying an incentive if you turn your Android in, you get free Bluetooth headphones, since iPhones doesn't have headphone jack, like automatically in it, so that might be something like why people are going to Android. So if we can incentivize them to turn in their Android phone and like switch over, that might be one way to go about it.
I don't know how legally you get, at Apple, say, turn in your Android.
Yeah, I was gonna show this to that. Market that our phones have more memory and that you can do or store a lot of things on them. And then one of the issues is since they are kind of catching on fire, like maybe we have an insurance plan built in with our phones. So that might be a concern for people like, hey, this happened to my other phone and like, they didn't know what to do, but since they have the insurance plan built in with mine, phone it's having more of a safety route.
Yeah, that's not a bad strategy. Actually, thought so. All right, Samsung, from that long list you got on there, let me know what did you come up with?
I mean,
What's your
there's
global
food.
strategy?
There's food, and like we try to like every possible solution for them. We still can't find a really good solution.
Nothing to even kind of.
I mean, they will lose money anyway, but like we just trying to figure out something how to lose the least amount of money now to get more in the future, or just some of it. But I mean, they can do anything.
Well, like, one of the things that I was thinking is that, obviously it's the battery, but what they did this year, this one that they hadn't done in the past, was that they actually, had new, producers, create different chips, they did business with new companies that they never had in the past. And so it was very difficult for them to see what companies made what to what phone, and anyway, it was a huge thing. So maybe if they went back to the original, keep
The original
chargers,
process.
but also if they do an investigation, which I'm sure they're doing, and then once it's complete, they come out with their PR makes an official statement, because right now they're just doing updated statements.
Yeah.
Like an official statement, this is the problem moving forward, this is what we're gonna change, blah, 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 to reassure people.
So they need to kind of be more upfront about it.
Yes.
As opposed to just kind of staying silent, just, hey, it's.
But I mean, one of the things I was thinking is that maybe just legally, legal business or whatever, that maybe they just can't make an official statement until the investigation is complete or something like that. But we were having a really hard time because Apple is so big in the United States, but internationally, Samsung is way bigger, so it's not, and it's a global, issue, because it's happening in other countries, and we were trying, that's when we were doing stuff like, it's not
Yeah.
anything outside of the US. Yeah, it's everywhere, so how do you retain those customers, you know?
Yeah,
So that's
so
really
maybe,
tough.
maybe we can market excessive market penetration to forget the United States. You know, well, it's not, we lost money. We incentivize the areas where people do love us, regardless when they're not having as many issues, you know? And we do that to maybe compensate for all the losses we're gonna have in the United States. That's one way. I mean, they're gonna lose money, but that's maybe just a way to say, hey, we're not gonna lose as much as we thought.
Even overseas, like Samsung's being screwed over. Like my article talks about like some other products that they have like people involved in like washing machines, and they're gonna have like some money probably that lose one for like somebody in some court because she bought it one time and she got kept returning it 2 times after the court sending one return because I don't know why she took it to court and she actually won. So like sending money to the phone is actually products.
Yeah, maybe it's just Samsung's ecosystem, right? Say Apple has 50 suppliers to make an iPhone. Samsung has, say, maybe 200. So you got 200 different vendors, suppliers, putting this one device. And like, you're trying to identify, is it really the battery, or is it circuitry, or is it too much power going to that? Like, maybe it's not really the battery itself. Maybe it's just how the operating system functions with it that overheats and overcharges, you know? So it's going to be very difficult to even kind of assess where it's coming from. We have 200 vendors, 200 different components to say, what is it?
Well, something I found interesting, I don't know why, was Samsung didn't recall their Note 7 South Korea. They recall everyone else but South Korea. It's kind of interesting, I don't know why they would.
Yeah, it could be interesting. Who knows?
I mean, I thought they did that for China because China had the phones in China. You know, the supply who supplied the batteries were just different. That's why they did not score. But you just told me that they did.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if they did a full recall, but I read the other day that they're recalling certain areas where people have experiences. It hasn't been as much in China. I think it's probably been just a handful of incidents. Feel like it was a handful of incidents now. Well, you know, how many incidents we have later on the plane? And the major issue I just think is really just the airplane concern. You know, so in the United States, we don't play around when it comes to things on planes. You're not going to sell that. You're not going to carry that. Other places, they're a little more relaxed. You know.
Oh, maybe they can just like, you know, wait because it's really like a hot topic right now and people are just afraid of it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like rumors like that always get really the most attention. Just like, you know, with the iPhone, when Amanda said like, you know, she said like, with the iPhone they said like it's pending or whatever. Like, I mean, I know a lot of people who were disappointed when they got that. You know, but like people really didn't care either. They were just like, you know, keep buying. So
That's true. I mean, so then you assess the risk, like the car manufacturers. You know, you're like, hey, we did the testing with the testing company. The brakes go out after 30,000 miles and it kills people. But it happens 1 out of 100 times. You know the information exists. Do you say, well, how much money will we lose if we recall, or just how much money? Yeah. If we continue to it. So they have actuaries to do those type of things for risk assessment. And, you know, not to get unethical or anything like that, but that's really what companies do. You know what I mean? Because they really weigh the risk to say X amount of people could possibly lose their life, but these number of people won't. Then we're going to say to calculate the amount of litigation that possibly comes from these people losing their life. We still calculate this amount of money that we get. When you put it all together from a strategy, we'll keep going along with it. But that's real life. That's essentially what they do with cars, phones, you know, food, products, stuff like that. They know this information way before we do.
I think like weddings or like waiting out, I don't feel like they have that option, just because like this happens right when Apple was introducing their new phone. And once someone buys a new phone, like the odds of them switching over in the next couple months if you figure it out, putting product out are really slim. So I feel like they have to do something.
Yeah, they have to do something big. I don't know exactly what they should do. I'm kind of like you, they're kind of screwed until next year, the Note 8 or something like that. I think the greatest thing Apple could do, but it's probably not possible, is kind of offer an Android operating system, kind of also with the iPhone, with the OS, to where you can switch back and forth. You know what I mean? Or you can upload kind of an Android operating system with the apps, with the Google Play Store and stuff like that, on the iPhone and stuff. To give you an option, you're like, hey, you know what, I can switch back and forth. I can switch back and forth. Because even like our computers downstairs, right? You can switch from the Mac software, you go back to Windows, Mac. So Microsoft and Apple work together, really close. But they can do that with Android or with Google or whoever. Then they will get code destroyed. All right, we're kind of running low on time. I don't know if I'll be able to get to. I'm going to talk about global structures. Maybe I'll just go with it. I want to go over the midterm review and also hand back to the slide. So study guide is pretty simple. Just list 9 things that will possibly be on the exam. Like I say, normally I'll ask you a question or an issue or problem, and just want things in your own words that are applicable to what we discussed in class.
You said how many?
Yeah, just 5 questions. They'll be asking questions. So a paragraph or more. Now, obviously, you get 1 point. One paragraph. Yes.
Is there any way that we can maybe like type during the midterm?
Sure. Yeah. But we don't want to just regurgitate, jargon, definitions, concepts. Yeah, just give me your own point of view of what you're learning through this course and actually throughout the program.
So you want to use an example of this?
I can give you an issue with like a particular culture, like you're going to enter a market into Latin America, et cetera, et cetera. What are some of the issues that could you can address?
So they kind of like the stuff you would be in class, kind of like.
Yeah, exactly. But there's nothing to get to. Don't fret over it. It's not going to be like, give me a CBRA analysis of this, because we haven't done that. Obviously, the course is only an hour, 15 minutes a day. My thing is to try to cover as much overall concepts of things. There's tons of definitions we can get into, but the course is just too short, that's 3 hours. So yeah, just kind of general stuff based on these. So, we could go over some of that stuff in the textbook and notes and things we went over. You should be fine. I think everybody will be great. Should be I guess we could go over these really quick, and I'll hand back some of the
Professor?
Yes.
So, take Russia for example. If we were to cut ties with Russia, will all our businesses have to cut ties with Russia? Is it like government to government, and not really?
Well, when they say cut ties, it normally goes by an embargo or restriction of some particular product, some particular business, or some particular service, it won't be like, oh, Cuba, which is where you can't absolutely do any trade with Cuba. That's a different story. But Russia is normally a sanction on something, a sanction on oil being exported to the United States, a sanction on dealing with financial firms, investing in Russia. But it will never be like, we don't do business with Russia. Number one, this is globalization, so you will always have a component or something coming from a particular country. That's impossible to stop. Okay? So if you stop one, the whole part is if you stop doing business with one country from a global standpoint, you're going to hurt a lot of people. And those people are connected. Wait. You do this, our people are going to suffer. Our people go down. Our income levels will go down. And so you don't see it happen too often, unless it's terrorist activity, but even still a lot of things go. You know what I mean? The price of oil is low. Yeah, it's low because we have a lot of new oil reserves, we do a lot of fracking now, we discover a lot of gas, natural gas reserves. But it's probably really low too locally because of the black market. Right? If Syria and Iraq, which has heavy oil reserves, have a black market where they trade oil to Turkey for very cheap. Turkey is a very high level mobile economic country. Trust me, there's a lot of people getting that cheap gas coming through Turkey that's coming from Syria or Iraq. So it's always complex, it's never simple. You know, once again, making these decisions, you always have to look at 100 different things. But that's just doing globalization itself. You know, so I try to see the bigger picture of things. Number one thing, I think, always remember everything is connected. Now, it's not like 100 years ago, where the United States built it and manufactured it. We did that. Walmart's in Mexico. Most of our divisions are in Mexico. GM, Toyota, etc. So it's just a web. It's this huge web. So if you do one thing, it's going to happen 20 different things you have to consider those. So I mean, earlier in the business program, did you guys have who right here, Molly Burke? Yeah, Molly Burke. And did she teach like organizational structure or something like that? Anybody take that? Kind of show you how they organize structures, you know, how CEO, VP, you guys have taken courses on that?
She showed us that on management class here.
Okay, imagine. All right. So on the global scale, there's normally 3 different structures that you can use. One is a product or division structure. The other is a functional structure. The other is geographic. And I'll explain these really quick. So you can kind of get an idea of what they're used for and why. The most common one is the geographical or geographic structure. Let's put this in, we'll just do this. Geographic structure, this is the most common structure on the global scale. Board of directors, under that you will have the chair of the board. Under him, the CEO answers to the chair. Then the CEO controls normally all of the vice presidents of a particular geographic area. All right, it's kind of bad up here, just to give you an idea. So geographic area, you have VP of South America, Vice President of Europe, Vice President of North America. And these normally would deal with a particular business unit. For example, let's say plastics. A particular area deals with either particular unit of business, but also you would have another area that you would have another area, say your vice president of Europe will work on marketing, finance, and what you have is specific areas that have their expertise. And that's what they focus on. So things are segmented geographically, they're spread out, but each area that's spread out has a specific unit they build, and that's all they build. And that's not going to be on the midterm. I think it's just important to kind of understand how you set up things when you're going to have international operations. Second one is global functional structure. Let's do global product structure. This one you'll have a CEO that's in charge of the product that's being made. Over here you have a corporate functional staff. Over here you have your area specialists. These people specialize in a particular area of the world: North America, South America, Europe, Middle East. Over here you have a product division. And each product will be segmented into a particular country. So let's say country. each country would have its own business unit of marketing, finance, and things of the sort. We're running late on time, so. So yeah, that's just two examples. Those are pretty much the two common ones that are being used. As you can see, like Volkswagen, even Samsung, there's Samsung North America, Samsung South America, Samsung Asia. There's only a vice president on top of those units, and each one of those units have their own. Essentially, they work independently, but they all answer to the board, and then also to sort of like a global chair. Now I'll just pass it back. No, we'll go over this. Does anybody have any questions about this? About the midterm?
When is it?
Next Thursday. I have a lot of papers, so. Amanda?
Wait for questions on Tuesday. May I ask questions on Tuesday?
Yeah, absolutely. Amanda? Carmen? Manny? Marcos? Liz? Carmen? America? And to say you guys' writing is pretty impressive. Michelle? Christian? Khalid? Vanessa Gonzalez? Annie? Tyler's not here. Roman. Yeah, it's right there. Liz is not here. Tyler's not here. Samantha. Abstain. All right, so since we got a few more minutes, maybe we could go on. Anybody interviewing anywhere? Any interviews? Job prospects?
My entrepreneurship professor kind of introduced me as like a bocce management consultant firm. So I kind of talked with them next Thursday.
Oh, next week you have an interview?
Yeah.
On interview or in person?
That's kind of like it's going to be a professor, myself, and I'm kind of just going to, I guess, kind of molding me into what consulting maybe. That's kind of what he wants me to start off. I don't know yet. But
Kind of a mentor.
Yeah.
Mentor.
I got an official job offer this morning.
Where?
My internship. I left it open because of,
How long have you been on the internship for?
2.5 months.
That sounds fun. Congratulations. Is it a position that like, you thought you would get? Or that you wanted?
It's in summer programming / development intern, and it's in development. But I left it open. I kind of set it in mind just because I want to work for a corporation instead of a nonprofit. So, but there's direct. I have the emails of like 5 people that have or currently work at I'm interested in. So I'm gonna email them tomorrow for information on their view, take them off the copy or something.
So you're on the board. You guys are nonprofit, you're trying to work for nonprofit. Who's here? Else is trying to work for a nonprofit?
I would like her.
You want to do nonprofit eventually? You don't want to do for profit?
I don't know. My idea is always kind of been to want to start a nonprofit. I don't know if I would stay there forever, but I'm too much of an emotional person to deal with too much of the positive stuff. So I love the idea of doing it, but it would take too much of the quality, but I want to try.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Nonprofit is a little bit less, I think, emotional than, profit-driven businesses. I used to work at the Blackstone Group downtown. When I got there as an internship. So I think internships are great. I want to knock on there, a good way to get in. I know Goldman Sachs has a really good internship program, like global finance. My thing is aim high, aim middle, aim low, and apply for like the training job. Apply for something that's acceptable, apply for something that's a little bit less acceptable. It's going to be an entry level. Look at the stats, try to see what that industry is making on average. So your hiring manager, the person hiring you, doesn't screw you with this. It's going to be rough. It's going to be tough for the job market, college grads, college students. But no, if I could be of any assistance, just random questions about anything, my experience. I've been around, I had quite a few, like 9 to 5 corporate jobs. Then I realized I could never do that. I don't know, it'd be monotonous 9 to 5, clocking in, clocking out. You get out at 5, you deal with the local traffic, you come home at 7 o'clock. Most businesses only open 9 to 5, so you try to pay your bills, you try to take care of things, so you have to take care of it. It's difficult because you're working. So I think now people are starting to see the benefit of utilizing a job to do something bigger. Either like you use what you learn at the job and start your own thing relative to that industry or sector. Or you just start your own thing out the gate because you think like, hey, in 5 years I would have perfected whatever it is I'm trying to do. I would be okay. So I don't know. It's really hard choices. I always laugh. Making jokes with my friends. I was like, damn, I want to file a lawsuit against my parents. They lied. No, essentially, like, we always joke. Because once you get older, but once you get older, you start to say like, dude, this is not anyway what I thought it was going to be, So I always joke like, man, I want to sue mom and dad. Like, they didn't tell me about being an adult. This sucks. Like, all this responsibility. Nobody taught me how to all this banking stuff and housing and real estate. Like, we don't learn that stuff. People don't teach it. And so, if I at some point run for office, like I've been talking about discussing, remember I think that we are not learning the correct things in school, from grammar school all the way to high school. Think about it. Do you learn how to write a check?
Yes, yeah. That's like the only thing that I should learn from.
Yeah. Do you learn how to bank? Do you know how to do a real estate transaction?
Yeah.
You're gonna buy a house and plan your life, you don't learn that. And then you get out, you're like, oh my God, I have no clue. I'll just get an apartment. You're like, everybody's kind of setting themselves back because they're not given the honest information. Sometimes the honest information is not that great, but at least it's honest information. So I think the school system's horrible. We're learning like American history, which is historic and lie. But why do we never to learn finance in grammar school? You're going to economics in grammar school. That way we're already ahead of the game, right? If economics impacts all of us, we're either going to be poor, middle class, or rich. And a lot of people are poor. Well, they're poor because they don't know. They don't know how to start a business. They don't know anything about the process. They don't know about market share, growth, all this cool stuff we're learning in class. They have no idea. But yet they keep still going to school, and the parents still keep sending them to school to learn social studies. I mean, how do you have how do you have all these extraneous classes that absolutely do not deal with survival? You have to survive. You learn, okay, I gotta go to the gym, and after that, I gotta go to sheet metal class, and lane, or wood shop. Then I gotta go to lunch. My point is, try to learn as much as you can about the things that are going to make you survive. Look at the critical information. There's a lot of useless information. Like we said, we could be the smartest. We could all be honest now. What all? Can you not? You have every single piece of information. You could build a atomic bomb in your basement with that phone. You're not going to do it. You might barely get a job. You might barely get a job. With all this information right here in the palm of my hand, I could literally find out how to create a new country and start my own government or something. Something crazy like that. But yeah, they're still just, So I get frustrated. This is stuff I think about. So that's why I was going back to the bottom of class action lawsuit against mom and dad for not teaching me anything about survival. Just to play with utilities and get workings and stuff like that. Yeah, you're going to say something?
We have questions. So we're going to a networking event later today. Thanks, Ryan. We're just wondering what kind of questions we should be anticipating from other people and what kind of things we should be asking other people.
What kind of, what's it pertaining to?
Like business professionals.
It's just a bunch of business professionals from different.
Different industries and coming together. Type of thing.
Honestly, just ask people about their experience. I think that's the most important question.
Okay.
Number one, I love business, but I always always said in business it's mostly psychology, how to get people to do things. You really can manipulate how to get people to do things. Not to say manipulate in a bad way, but manipulate in a good way. Like, hey, I have information. I can foresee what this person's going to do if I do this. Kind of like chess, like you're 2 steps ahead. So that being said, ask honest questions. If you go up there and ask a generic business question, if I do, every student here is asking me the same generic business question. But if you ask somebody something realistic, like, man, what's your experience? Like, come on, actually, should immediately find a job? Like, how hard is that? I find that talking to people in that way, you will get a lot more. And after that, you might actually get contact. So, organic questions.
Okay.
Very rare. Of course, dress professional, exude professionalism, but at the same time, you really have to get people to like you. You have to. And you have to learn how to do that with different types of people. A lot of people don't have that gift. They can do it to people just like them. You see them handle the same type of people, they talk, everybody's good. And everybody segregates themselves, Oh, we're over here, I'm even over here. But you always find a person who can get along with everybody, go some further. So that's the trick. That's actually one of the points of this class is cultural togetherness. You're like, well, I don't feel comfortable. It's against my values, against my beliefs. These people are different than me, and I don't understand why they do this. If you can't look at 2 perspectives and just say yours is the right way, I won't say you won't get far. Maybe you come from money, you will. But I think there's a high likelihood you may not get as far as you will want to. Especially for us, none of us are rich, right? Nobody here is rich. Maybe you're coming from decent amount of money or a minimum amount of money, you need those triggers. If not, you will pocket yourself into plain economic theory or statistical theory of failure. Right? Let's just say this is just normal. Whatever that means, right? Yeah, this is probably wrong because the wealth is actually even smaller. And this deals with what we talk about in class, your strategy. What's your strategy? What's your strategy to not be normal? What's your strategy to be awesome, to be great, to be different? And that's, I think that's something that should always be in the guy's mind. Like, yeah, we get out and get a job. What's going to make a difference? Best education, everybody can read and go. But best education I've ever gotten in my life, it's not school, it's not PhD, it's not MBA, it's not that. It's literally travel. That is the best education. You will learn more about yourself than you would sit in the classroom just regurgitating definitions and concepts of truth. All right, that's my spiel for today. See you guys later.
All right. Well, I hear a little dog. I'll see you guys in the mirror today. Then you guys can see me, I'll just share it with you. And what about this? What
Yeah.
So like internship, for my cover letter, internship, and social media, or a monthly newsletter that goes out. And it's basically to keep like donors and volunteers updated, but as well as kind of to get the word out and to like retain donors and also gain new donors. But we were working that. Like right now, I have using the social media platform and writing a monthly online newsletter has allowed me to update. I have to start. So I have like organic writers for youth. I have learned to create connections with donors, volunteers, and families through media and in-person interactions. Using the social media platform and writing a monthly online newsletter has allowed me to update. Like, I have writer's block today.
No, I get it, and you just, I think what you have is really good. It's, very concise, you know, but at the same thing, put in the positivity of what you're saying, the high positivity of what you're saying, and show the negativity, of not doing what, what you're saying should be done. So that people can contrast in their minds, develop contrast and say, wow, this is doing fantastic work. But that's very concise and very professional and straight to the point. But I think you throw in some high positivity of what are the great benefits of doing this and why it's so important.
So like ask how many donors, how many like, new people have been interested because of
Absolutely.
this.
Yeah, stuff like that will grab people's attention. And then show, you don't have to get too quantitative, but you could be qualitative that in conclusion, not participating with this crisis strategy or whatever, will lead to very horrible adverse effects on youth, on child adolescents, and the things that can happen from that. So you reassess
You could write like numbers in your cover letter.
I don't think you have to. I think you can use phrases. You can use phrases as like,
Because of this, I have gained
absolutely, stuff like that. Talk about pain, talk about amount.
donors and volunteers.
Having documents. Yeah, that type of language, I think resonates with people because it makes them urgency. It shows urgency. And the thing is, as a writer, what I always think is the person reading. This sounds really great to me. I wrote a great paper, I spelled everything right, it sounds really academic. But then I have to say, if I'm reading this, what am I thinking? So read it to yourself and say, man, does this make it urgent or does this make this like a bulletin? Like, oh, we need to do this. Okay, all right. So, pretty sure we do. But give them an incentive to say why we need to do this. Not doing this has blah, blah, blah consequences. Doing this has high positive consequences to a particular demographic, to a population of people, stuff like that. But no, once again, I don't think you need to pay that. I think you probably need to add 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Add a few more
So
sentences.
this kind of finish the sentence and I don't.
Yeah.
Like,
And I get that.
Newsletter has allowed me to update and retain.
Yeah.
You know,
No, I get what you're saying. You could go anywhere with it. To illustrate retentive, positive, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, talk about retention, sustainability. So kind of all those things. You guys can come in if you want. I think we're done. You coming?